Hey everyone, it's weather for Weather Geeks on Thursday. It's January 22nd, and it's a pretty classic January day here across northeast Ohio and into western parts of Pennsylvania. Sea of clouds out there, kind of a slate gray overcast. Flurries were a little more prominent earlier on today. Let me stop the radar loop here for a second, show you the current radar as of about 2 p.m. Still reporting some light snow at the Youngstown Warren Airport. Visibility is at, let's see, 6 miles, so just real light. Earlier on, we had some heftier snow showers around the airport and heading into eastern parts of Trumbull and into a good chunk of Mercer County, but those have since faded away. So we're in pretty good shape now for the rest of the day today. You might see the occasional little spit of snow or a flurry out there, but that will about do it. Temperature-wise, this afternoon, it's pretty typical of January again. 27 at 2 o'clock in Youngstown, 29 Newcastle, Akron, Canton at 28, New Philly at 31 degrees. So kind of a ho-hum winter day out there. We're in a break between systems that's going to last another couple of days. By the way, this is not cloud cover. This is the ice on Lake Erie. Check that out. Some breaks on the North Shore. A few breaks over here where it gets really deep in the eastern end of Lake Erie, but pretty much solidly ice covered on the lake, and that's pretty typical of mid to late January. It took a little longer this year because, of course, December was quite mild across our part of the country. Speaking of across the country, where's the mild air? It's down in the south, right on the border between the warm air and the chilly air is, of course, where we have a storm brewing with a chilly rain in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi. This is what's going to make the turn and come north and east and bring some wintry precipitation to the southern Appalachians. The central Appalachians will get quite a bit of snow. And then the big question for the big cities along these coasts is it snow or not? It's going to be a real battle zone setting up along I-95 with this nor'easter. Real tough forecast challenges for meteorologists over in that neck of the woods. In fact, let's have a look at the latest NAM. Show you the snowfall depth field here as we go out through time, give you a sense as to how much snow potentially could fall here according to the NAM model with this nor'easter. We want this. The NAM does not advertise a whole lot over the next few days outside of the eastern Great Lakes, with mostly rain, I suspect, and sleet and kind of a mix for the I-95 cities. So that's kind of interesting. The NAM model not exactly mongering for a lot of snow over there. GFS would suggest that there is some fairly decent snows out in here, but the I-95 cities, kind of a close call once again. All right, let's talk about our weather as we head into the weekend. We are going to miss that nor'easter. Again, let's show you where this track is. This will be mostly a Friday night and Saturday event, and pretty decent snows in this zone, but it's going to be mostly rain along the coast. If your travel plans do take you east heading into the weekend, be on the lookout for that. PA Turnpike, I-80, eastern half of Pennsylvania, that'll be no fun. I think we'll get some flurries here Saturday afternoon and evening as a weak little front slips in from the north. This front doesn't have much to work with, but there'll be some scattered flurries and snow showers. And then, of course, the next potential big ticket item is on Sunday with the approach of a pretty decent, pretty potent Alberta Clipper system. A couple of trends on the models. I don't even know if they're trends. The models have actually been kind of waffling a bit since yesterday afternoon. One trend I can point out is that the snow is shown to be a little bit slower now on a lot of the modeling, suggesting that it may be until after sunset before the accumulating snow starts. Not sure if I buy that trend just yet. A lot of times these clippers, they come in faster than you think. So I'm still thinking sometime Sunday afternoon, it's going to start snowing at a decent clip. Now temperatures will be around freezing when the snow arrives. So main roads, I suspect, would be all right until after sunset. But, your sidewalks and driveways, parking lots, that sort of thing could start to get slick even before sunset on Sunday. Now, the big question for us is what's the exact track of this area of low pressure as it cruises through? And this is going to make the forecast tricky. Here's the latest GFS model, tracking it almost right overhead, the low, almost right over Youngstown during the middle of the night Sunday night. Now, if that track were to be believed, the best snows, the heaviest snows, would be north of the track, Erie, Buffalo, maybe up to Rochester, heading over towards Williamsport, PA, Jamestown, New York, the Finger Lakes. This would be where I would suspect the bullseye of snow would be. if the low were to track right over us, there would be enough of an influx of mild air that while there might not be rain with this track, you might start to be dealing with some mixing with some sleet in parts of our viewing area with this kind of a track. But 50 miles could make all the difference. If this decides to track maybe more down here, then the axis of heavier snow is going to shift slightly to the south. So bottom line for you, this is Sunday into Sunday night. This is only Thursday. We've got a lot of model runs ahead of us. We're not going to start talking about specific accumulations, but be cognizant of the fact that we might see some accumulating snow Sunday afternoon into Sunday night, and this could be enough to shovel and plow, cause travel disruptions. Even though the trends have been slower, I still suspect that if there's going to be a decent amount of accumulating snow, the accumulating part of the storm would be primarily over by daybreak Monday. So that's important timing for school adjustments, that sort of thing, Monday morning. At the worst of the storm may have ended 6 hours before school starts, if the current timing were to be believed. What's my gut feeling at this point? My gut feeling is the GFS track here is pretty solid. It has the support of some of the other modeling. Now, I will tell you the European is somewhat farther to the south, maybe more like this. If you're a snow lover, if you're rooting for the snow, the European's your model of choice. The GFS is like this. The Canadian model is pretty far up to the north. So as a compromise at the moment, I kind of like this GFS track. And with that track, we'd be looking at higher amounts in the northern half of our viewing area with this kind of a track. Lower amounts to the south, more in the nuisance category if this track were to be right, in East Liverpool, Lisbon, East Palestine, maybe up to Elwood City and Lawrence County. And then the more, as you travel off to the north, especially north of I-80, this would be more in the handful of inches, kind of category, if that track is going to be right. Now, once we're done with that system, we're done with a lot of our snow shenanigans for a while, and we transition into the big story being temperatures. Here's a look at the upper level flow as we head into next week. Let's skip ahead to early on next week. Here's Tuesday afternoon. Notice big ridge poking up here with record heat. Rockies, perhaps parts of the Plain States. Big trough on the East Coast. This is next Tuesday. And overall, next week is going to feature a lot of ridging in the western half of the U.S. and western Canada, and a trough over the eastern part of Canada and along the East Coast. This is next Friday. With a ridge like this, you're going to see our air originating up here and diving, kind of like this. So our air will be of Arctic origin, or at least northern Canada origin. And, that's a cold pattern for us. Now, how long does this last? That's a big question. I think it's going to last at least into the following weekend, into Super Bowl weekend, next weekend, 9-10 days from now. And it may even last into a good chunk of the first week of February. And, of course, our confidence gets lower as we go out through time. But I think we're going to spend a lot of time next weekend to next weekend with highs in the 20s, perhaps even a couple of days where highs stay in the teens, depending on the situation, how clear the sky is, how deep our snowpack might be. We might have some nights below zero to contend with next week into the following weekend. So a little heads up for that. All right, as we go out through the next couple of days, I'll be keeping you updated on the latest trends for the Sunday potential snow event. In the meantime, I'll see you tonight on TV on 21 News at 6 and 11. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.